In this video tutorial, we're going to be reimagining this artwork from a recent Ringer article. LeBron James just might play forever. I sure do hope so. He's incredible. And so we're going to be applying blending modes. We're going to be desaturating layers, applying levels to produce something that looks a little bit like this. Here's another one of my heroes, Dr. Anthony Fauci. And so we're going to talk about all these different layers. We're going to create this together. And here's another example that I have that I created just a moment ago. This one isn't tremendous. Velociraptors sure are nifty creatures. And so how do we create this? Well, let's jump right on in. The first thing that you're going to want to do is go to Photopea. You're going to create a template, dimensions of your choice. I'm just doing the YouTube cover, and I'm going to press simply create. So that is what we're working with. Now I live in Queens, and I'm a big fan of the Brooklyn Nets all of a sudden. I love them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find an image of Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. And I'm now going to click File New, YouTube cover, create. I'm going to paste in Kevin Durant. I'm going to press Command Option T to increase the size, and we're going to be pulling him out in just a moment. This guy, he's a little wacky, but he's so talented. Kyrie Irving's got some pretty incredible handle. We're going to go to File New. We're going to click YouTube cover, create, Command V to paste, Command Option T to increase the size. And I'm noticing that this is a really small or a low res image, so we may need to find another one. James Harden, he's very effective. File, New. We're going to press create, Command V. And that's a high res image. I like this one. And as much as I like that image of Kyrie Irving, instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to select copy image, return to Photopea, click on that tab. I'm going to delete this one, press Command V to paste. There we go. All right, so what we need to do is pop these images into the canvas, this first tab that we're working with. And I'm going to use, let's try this object selection method. So the cross should be fully inside. And you know what? We want more of Kevin Durant than that. So a lot of Photopea and graphic design in general is just experimenting. And so I used a quick selection tool. I'm going to press Command C, Command V to paste, and there we go. Command Option T to increase the size. Okay, and I'm not loving the selection along the edge of his face, but I'm going to live with it. I'm going to live with that for right now. All right, let's grab Kyrie. Let's try the object selection one more time. Let's see how well it does. It's kind of hit or miss. And this one looks like it's kind of a hit. I'm going to press Command V to paste. And there we go. Now there's all this space sort of on the interior of his arms, and we can sort of get rid of that later. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm going to increase the size. And where do we want this guy? We'll put him right there. Now let's grab James Harden. All right, so James Harden is already in that tab. I believe he's right here. Let's try this this object selection one more time. Let's see how effective this is. It's not bad. I'm going to press Command C. I'm going to press Command V. I'm going to use the object selection. I'm actually going to press Command plus to zoom in. And I lied. I'm going to use the object selection to get rid of this. Look at that. It's gone. Bam. And I'm going to select here. Gone. And again, the selections for this video tutorial are not going to be amazing, and that's okay with me. All right, so here's what we know. We've got these images that we're pretty happy with, right? And I'm going to situate James Harden behind Durant. Okay, whatever. It's okay. It's okay. So here's what we need to do. We need to desaturate. That means to get rid of the colors. To do that, I'm going to press Command Shift U, and you'll notice that it went black and white. I'm going to press it again. Black and white, and then again Command Shift U, black and white. And now I'm going to return to Kevin Durant. I'm going to press Command L, and when we press Command L, we can make the lights lighter. You see that? That's clearly too much, but that looks pretty good right there. And we can make the darks a little bit darker. I'm going to click on James Harden, Command L. We're going to make the lights lighter. That's bananas. You want to finesse it just a tad, and then Kyrie Irving. The light's a little bit lighter, the dark's a little bit darker, because we're trying to create contrast. There we go. Okay, beautiful. So now what do? We're going to press a new layer, And we want to add some shapes. So the first shape I'm going to add when we're using this as a reference is this sort of yellow circle on the left side of the screen. So let's do that right now. I'm going to click on the ellipse select, and I'm going to click and drag, and I'm holding shift. And yeah, okay, we'll go like this. That looks kind of cool right there. We're on a new layer, and this layer is on the top of the layers palette, and so we need to pick a layer. And I'm going to select this yellow, and I press OK. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use not the gradient tool. So we're going to right click the gradient, and we're going to select the paint bucket. Bam. Okay, cool. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how to make it see-through or like translucent. This is a pretty cool effect. We're going to change now from the ellipse to the rectangle, the rectangular select. And I like that right there. And instead of yellow, let's try this blue. You're going to find one that works for you. Paint bucket. And you guys, here's what you could put it on this layer, but I don't want to. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer. So down here in the bottom of the layers palette, it says new layer. It's next to the garbage can. I'm going to left click, boom, and let's do one more. I'm going to select the rectangular select. We're going to click and drag. I like this. And instead of blue, we'll make it like a red. And paint bucket. Okay, beautiful. And so now what do? How do we create this effect? We're going to be applying something called blending mode. So what I'll do is I'm going to select on layer 3, and I'm going to change it from normal to multiply. Wow, that's amazing. Layer 4. We're going to go from normal to multiply. Hey, that looks cool, man. And actually, let's use the move tool and shift that over right there. Yes. And then layer 5, we're going to change it from normal to multiply. Hey, that also looks good. Now the blue and the red are a little heavy. I don't know. So we can drop the opacity, which means we can make it, we can see through it a little bit more. That's one way to do it. So I'm dropping it from 100 to 63. I like that. I'm going to change the blue layer from 100 to 76. And the last thing that I'm going to do, I noticed that there's a little bit of a texture, right? It's not like a solid white behind here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up a new layer. I'm going to type concrete texture. We're going to do an image search. You're going to find something that you think looks kind of cool. Rustic concrete wallpaper mural. I'm going to copy image. I'm going to go to Photopea. I'm going to click on the background layer. Now when I press Command V, okay, I'm going to press Command Option T. And now look at the difference. You see that? And that looks pretty cool. I actually might drop the opacity of this. Hey, not bad. Not bad. So there we've got the big three for the Brooklyn Nets. We've got Dr. Anthony Fauci. And we've got a cunning velociraptor. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to save your work as a PSD and as a JPEG. And to do that, where should we go? You're going to click on File, Export, and then you're going to save this as a JPEG. That flattens the image. And then if you're not done today, and I suspect that you might not be, you're going to save it as a PSD. I'll do that right now because I like this. I'm going to save it as a PSD. It just saved, and now then you can open this by uploading it into Photopea at a later time to produce your masterpiece. I cannot wait to see your work. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.